I don't know if you've ever been to an amusement park before, but I've been like once. Which is why I decided to do this game. It's a first-person psychological horror game that takes place at an amusement park. And it's only supposed to be like 1 or 2 hours long. But you know what? It wouldn't be the first time I've ever done a game that was that short. Wait. Go into settings one more time. Subtitles? Yep, there we go. Apply. Okay. With that said, let's just get right into it. The Park is a narrative experience, best played in a dark room wearing headphones. Check. It deals with subject matter that may be disturbing to some players. During the course of play, the park may emulate Funcom Presents, a
In my
short
heart and
indie
mind,
game.
I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
Game I get what the title is. Huh. Not bad looking.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum. Stay in the car. I'll go and ask information.
First off, this looks like a PS2. Holy shit! It's still that bad? Whoo! Okay, first off, this game doesn't fuck around with the sensitivity. Secondly, it looks like a PS2 game, but I mean, it's a small indie game, so it's fine. But thirdly, why would you make a game? Oh my god, you can see her whole body. That's an automatic +1 for me. In first-person games, I like it when you can see their whole body. And apparently the titties too. Speaking of which though, like...
Attention patrons, the park is now closed. Please make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience. Employees prepare the park for shutdown.
Oh, Mr. Bear is his fucking stuffed bear that he left behind, and she's gotcha. Not gonna lie though, she's an attractive enough woman. I wouldn't date her though, because she has a kid.
Callum was born the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
Atlantic Island Park, a tribute to the untamed heart of Solomon Island and the people who use their talents to bring the dream of Nathaniel Winter to life. May this park be a place where joy and laughter are gathered and used to infect all those who follow after. Dedicated this first day of May 1977, James B. Longley. So, which means that this game takes place presumably in the 1990s. Early 90s.
What?
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath and think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear. Hey, stop! I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
If the gates were locked, then how did he get in? Also, why would they let... Okay, first off, like, I'm gonna nitpick here. First off, how did he get in if the gates are locked? And secondly, wouldn't you just call security to remove the child? I don't know why you would send the mother. But thirdly, I actually want to give this game a bit of... Well, I don't know praise, but I want to give this game a bit of a... Because I've played other indies, like, for example, the latest one being In Sound Mind. And those games are like this one, but they don't even have any cutscenes. Like, the fact that this game has legitimate cutscenes is impressive to me. Shouting provides audible and visual cues to guide you. Can I run?
Callum, where are you going?
Come on, Mommy!
Atlantic Island Park. Welcome to the park. When I first came to Solomon Island, I fell deeply in love with its natural beauty. It's a scenic place, and I created many of my best memories here. I wanted to create a place that captures the essence of Solomon Island, a place where families would bring their children to create memories of their own. I don't care. Chad the Chipmunk recommends, for the little ones, try the tunnel. Oh yeah, so this whole thing, like I'm assuming you ride pretty much every ride in the park, so I'm actually gonna read these. Try the Tunnel of Tales for a gentle, family-friendly retelling of timeless fairy tales, even though in this game's purposes, it's not going to be family-friendly at all. If that sounds a little too slow, grab an adult and jump on the bumper cars. Full throttle fun for everyone. For the teens, pump up your adrenaline by going through a spin cycle on the Octotron. Then defy the laws of gravity on our award-winning roller coaster. Finish it all up in the House of Horrors. But be warned, it might scare all the fun out of you. For the big ones, take a ride on Riley Reid. No, I'm fucking with you. Take a romantic spin on the Ferris wheel with your significant other and take in the natural beauty of Solomon Island. For the big ones, that's like more of a thing for teens, my guy. Follow it up with a stroll to the exotic sights. Okay, that's like the teen shit. Here's a better one. For the big ones, enjoy not arguing with your significant other for a day while watching your children play. There we go. That's accurate. Once you've left the park, don't care place to eat. Cool. I'm already bored of that now. Can I run?
There's something special about the entrance to an amusement park. A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within. On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
Attention employees, the park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
They wouldn't close with this woman still here, but okay. And once the park closes at night, it gets creepy. You know a escalator is too long when you start on it and it's a daytime, and then when you end it's night.
Oh God. The park. What happened here?
No clue.
It's easy to get lost here.
Roller coaster bumper cars. I will go all around everything, starting at the right with a roller coaster.
You can't catch me.
Correction, I will go left after this child. I'm going to assume this is some sort of nightmare or her dream. Although I do imagine that... Can you run?
Wait for Mommy!
I forgot about the call thing. I do imagine, though, that an amusement park would be creepy as fuck to be in at night. Speaking of, there's actually a horror movie taking place, I think, Disneyland. It was an unofficial shot movie.
I think this belongs to Callum.
It could.
Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Yep. I don't even need to read that. You know, actually I probably do. He's probably going to be a big part of this. Chad the Chipmunk. Child can be seen daily. Oh, never mind. I don't care. Wait. Chad the Chipmunk. Worst in class. Chad can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry. Likes to fight. Chad is beaten every night. He'll have a dead-end job, die a useless slob. Well, that's not very child-friendly.
I wonder what this is.
Purchase the land on Solomon Island for a pittance, I might add. Whatever old Archie Henderson did to the locals, Just the mention of his name had people slamming doors and locking shutters from the moment I arrived on the island. My lawyers had arranged everything in advance, but the realtor still had to come and deliver the keys to me personally. He took it upon himself to offer me another warning. I don't know what you're planning to do with this land, Mr. Winter, but the soil here is bitter with the curse carried from the old country. Old man Henderson, he did terrible dark things. The land remembers, sir. I dismissed him shortly afterwards, mostly amused by his pathetic attempts to warning me off. I have a great vision for this place, and he will see to that vision to the very end. Okay, so Mr. Winter, the heralded guy, is a prick. Understood. That is interesting. So, most games, if you click to run, then you will start running. But if you stop running, you have to click to run again. This game, you just start running. And honestly, I'm going to put it on that path, because I'd rather just run than walk through this shit. Tunnel of Tales. Ah, so at nighttime, the curse comes out. Gotta say though, this park, quite honestly, seems kind of small. So like, I can't imagine how you would spend all day here. Fuck you.
Callum, stay where you are.
I can't imagine you would spend all day here, unless you rode the same rides again and again. This seems like a 2-hour trip. Yeah, ride the swan. Right. I imagine the Tunnel of Tales is going to be the House of Horror, the Tunnel of Horrors. So I can only imagine what the House of Horrors is going to be. What, the House of Bullshit?
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children. A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor and had very little to bite or sup. "What will become of us?" the woodcutter asked his wife one night. "I tell you what, husband, we will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there." "No, my wife, I cannot do that," said the man. "Then we will all 4 starve, you fool." Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep.
Shit, mother.
"Do not fret, Gretel," Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets. The next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest. Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day. Clever Hansel leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the trail back to their parents' house. After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. "Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself," the wife told the woodcutter. In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again. Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed. Abandoned by their parents and unable to find the trail home, The children wandered in the forest for 3 days. The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls. Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who is nibbling at my house? An old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you. But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them of their cruel mother. Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for you. The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat. You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside, the old woman urged, and the children, still licking their sweets, followed. Once inside the house, the old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into a cage and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut. Your brother will make a good mouthful, the old witch told Gretel. Once he is fattened up, I shall feast upon him. Time passed, and poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him. The witch, for her part, grew impatient. Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven. But Gretel pretended not to understand. I do not know how. Where is the opening? Fool, the old witch said. The opening is here. And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her courage, brave Gretel gave the witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid a large iron bolt over the door to the oven. Gretel freed her brother Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled, and the witch was cooked. And then, because even children can't survive on sweets, they divided up the body of the old witch and ate her.
I'm not familiar with the story of Hansel and Gretel. But I'm going to assume that when it's normally told to children... Sup, boo? That when it's told to children that they tone it down a bit. Sup, Swan? You don't scare me, by the way. Oh, that was an unnecessarily prolonged ride just for the Hansel and Gretel thing. And that was it. Honestly, kind of
Hansel and
boring.
Gretel. I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off. Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister, hand in hand against the unkind world. We were always hungry, Looking for our own house made of candy. Looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away. Hunger leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws.
Huh. So there's two dynamics to this now. There's the dynamic of the haunted park itself. And now there's the
Another accident.
dynamic of her and Callum.
This place.
I'm not gonna read that yet because I want to turn off this incessant shit first. Oh, okay, that works too. Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opening on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried. The customers will come out of simple curiosity. I deduce what was needed from the banned writings of Archie Henderson. It's astonishing to think that a resonance of positive emotions can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose to use negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in his place. I will not make his mistakes. Very soon I will know if it has all been for nothing. It was all for nothing, wasn't it? I feel like it was. Tell you what, this game looks cheap as hell, but I can tell that they did the best they could with what they had. Ah! This should be a much better ride. Hopefully not so goddamn slow. Okay, you know what? You know what?
Dad, make me dizzy.
Yep.
The guy just snapped. Those poor kids.
Eyewitness report, Atlantic Island Park incident. Officer on duty, witness named Grief. Statement. We were waiting for our turn on the ride. Frank, me, and the boys. This fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving, while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I've always been a bit wary of those suits. They give me the creeps. It's silly, I know. Anyway, the chipmunk man, he was carving and picking away at the ice. And at first we thought he was making some animal, like a tiger or lion or liger or tiger or bear, oh my. But as more and more ice fell away, when you first looked, it was like a human face, smiling out of that block of ice. But the more you looked at it, the more you saw there was something not quite right about the proportions. Something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster. Like you were prey and that thing in the ice was a hunter. But even these teenagers walked up, and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then, well, he went berserk. For a few moments it was chaos. Everybody was running away from the guy, who had been one of teenagers who had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he was stabbing with the ice pick, and blood was spraying, and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids, and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. And the last thing I saw before Frank dragged me away was that the eyeball of one of those poor kids had landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive. Yeah, that's definitely an incident that would make local news. And it's safe to say that chipmunk suit is cursed, since this whole land is cursed. Alright, now how the hell do I get on this thing?
I can't get on while it's moving.
Fair enough. Oh, good. I was hoping it wouldn't. Okay. You know, I honestly wish this is what GTA 5 was like, because GTA 5 has that Santa Monica inspired pier. But you can only use 2 rides. I really wish this one lets you use every ride. I can't deny this would make me sick to my stomach. Well, that's unsettling. Hey, buddy. What was that, the spirit of the park? Well, if nothing else, I can at least say that one was better than the
I
other
remember
one.
this.
Me and Callum.
Treachery hides in thoughts. Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides. The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum was no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered, and as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single, traitorous thought.
Guilt. Question now is, where am I?
Constant crashes and 80s music. I guess it floats someone's boat.
Bumper cars, huh? After this, I'll go to Ferris wheel, so I need to go back the way I came. How do I... Where's the... Oh, a cutscene. I wasn't expecting that.
No, please no. Stop, doctor! Stop it, please!
What are you, Frankenstein? Shocking revelations. Ah, so she went through shock therapy. Is that it though? Like, can you not actually use these bumper cars? My guess is that you're not really supposed to use the bumper cars, but that you're just supposed to do that shock therapy thing. Which is a shame, because I genuinely want to do the bumpers. Because, like, you got the Ferris wheel, you got the roller coaster, but the bumper cars would have been when it's actually interactable. Well, this is a shame. I guess you have to go the long way around for the Ferris wheel. Frustrated by the fact that the plans seem incomplete. I know as well as anybody that the rules of the game can be changed with enough money. Yes, they can be. It's called bribery. Oh, sorry, lobbying. But no matter how much money talks, it can't conjure up missing plans from thin air. I've tried contacting the organization who sold me these plans, and they are stonewalling me. Every contact that I had, every meeting place I've watched or swept bare. I have a sinking feeling I've been swindled. We've gone ahead with what we could find with the plans regardless. The harvesting machines, the transport system mechanisms, etc. I'll probably let Nicholas name them something cute for the day when we open the park. They will be rides after all. Ah. Someone got duped. And since I have to go the long way around, I'm just going to make a cut to the Ferris wheel. Unless something happens in between. Something happened in between. I thought working in the park for a summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of the season here really drags. There aren't many tourists around, and so most of the staff spend their days standing around gossiping. And most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean Steve. See? Even I'm starting to call him Chad, and I went to school with the guy. It's that goddamn suit. In the beginning it was a laugh. Steve the local lush as Chad the Chipmunk. Child-friendly mascot at Atlantic Silent Park. Lock up your daughters and all that. But the more he wears that suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first it was little things, like refusing to change out of the suit at work and taking it home with him every day. But then I saw him at Susie's diner, still wearing it, and it wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained, discreetly, to the park management about the smell, and I saw him walking and talking with Mr. Winter, the owner, one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by. And apparently he picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him picking up in a gutter outside Psycoil Station, because he sure as hell can carve a mean ice sculpture. Those shapes he makes in the ice, though, they gave me the creeps. He came by the booth today, lucky me, and he just hung around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it seemed like he was just staring at me, sizing me up, eye-fucking me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there, not saying anything. Eventually, I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Chad, or Steve, or whatever, wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Hank. Oh, fuck! I have to admit, that was a good jump scare. that was good. I admit it. Whew, that gave me a good startle. Alright. I hear you, girl. Alright, now, unless anything else happens, see you at the Ferris wheel. I decided that since this is actually new territory and the commute seems to matter, I'll actually keep everything in from here on out. Dissuade them. They have sent an inspector to investigate the accidents at the park. I've given him the grand tour and spoken about all our safety upgrades, but he seems unconvinced. In this case, the park itself is working against me. This dour man has become more and more intractable the more time he spends in the park. I've offered to pay for a stay in the Overlook Hotel to get him out of here, but he seems to have made him even more paranoid. I don't think this man is going to allow my park to stay open. This is a disaster for my ultimate goal. And what are your ultimate goals? I mean, I get you're a businessman, so you want to stay in business, but it seems like you've done some shady shit in order to get where you're at. What the hell? Well, the only thing I can think of now... Oh my god, are you actually supposed to ride the bumper car? Was I wrong? Francis whatever, 1976, laborers working, whatever. Brief description. During the transport of the bumper... Oh, so, okay, so this is detailing different accidents that have happened within each ride, and why this park got shut down, because shit keeps happening at every single ride. Bumper cars into the arena. One of the straps attaching the load to the truck came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directly directing the driver. Francis was crushed by weight of the cars. Describe any injuries caused. Francis was killed. Did the injured employee see a doctor? Yes. If yes, did you file an employee's portion of the worker compensation file? Yes. Supervisor's comments. Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone on the back of the load, undoing the straps. Nobody else reported seeing that. The sheriff has requested that Dexter provide them with urine samples. For anybody who's dumb or ignorant, no offense, drug test. What could have been done to prevent this accident/incident? Double checking of the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screenings for all drivers. Have the unsafe conditions been corrected? No. Ah. And now I can go this way to the Ferris wheel, right? I mean, bro, that's what happens. It's your fault, guy. That's what happens when you build a amusement park on haunted grounds.
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother. Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, "Yes, Sheriff."
So what are you, loony? Well, then again, if this is in the 1970s or 80s, you know, I suppose they might have still done shock treatment back then. Continually delayed by the incompetence of the builders. The problem is that they are locals, and so they believe a lot of the rumors about what Old Man Henderson used to do here. They grew up on those tales. Every time a bolt comes loose or a wrench goes missing, those fools are crossing themselves against the black magic. Of course, that is why I chose this site over the other potentials. Solomon Island is a nexus for dark energies, and the thought of all that power just dissipating beneath the earth here, it makes my skin crawl. What? I called in a few favors back in Brooklyn and got some of the local academy to see if they had any interesting books about our local history. Turns out they do. And turns out that Old Man Henderson has some pretty strong connections to the Brooklyn crowd. Perhaps something he wrote there will help me get the plans I'm missing. And now we are at the Ferris wheel. One of the only, ironically enough, the only two rides are left are the only ones you can actually ride on that Santa Monica Pier, which I don't like because there's a bunch of them. I mean, there should be more. No! Yeah! Nice night sky, in all honesty.
People come into your life for a reason. Dad used to say that before Mom ran off. After that, he mostly just drank. Things were different for Don and I. When we met, I was sweeping the floor at Susie's diner. He came in with some workers, but he didn't try to flirt or cop a feel like the others. He just ordered a coffee and sat there, watching me. When my shift was over, he offered to walk me home. I don't know how to describe that walk. We talked and laughed and eventually kissed. It felt like love. It felt like a fairy tale. I can't tell you if Callum was made that night or one of the ones that followed, but I think it has to be that night. That one perfect night. Dawn and I moved in together, but then, well, he died. According to the supervisor, his safety harness failed when he was working on the top of the Ferris wheel.
Ooh.
Dawn was there one moment, and then gone. Sometimes people leave your life for no reason. I was 3 months pregnant with Callum. Fairy tale fucking over.
Hold up, hold up. So you only knew this guy for what, 3 months? Okay, because if she could mistake their very first night together as the one where she got pregnant, that means that it was roughly 9 months. So 3 months and you only knew the guy for 3 months. Oh, hey guy. That wasn't, sorry to tell you this, but that's not a love story. That's a fling that got you pregnant. I mean, I understand that it probably apparently would have gone somewhere, but like as it stands, meh. Although this game did just now give her a personal connection to this haunted park.
Where are you, Callum?
Where are you indeed? Alright. Only one ride left. Can
A
you
lot of people idolize their children. You hear them talking about their kids and just the way they talk, their fucking voices make me want to vomit. My angel likes to read, and little Johnny is so good on the piano. Fuck those people! You give up 9 months of your life carrying them, you traumatize yourself giving birth to them, and then you spend the rest of your life as their slave. Wiping asses, mopping up piss, feeding them. Little life-sucking monsters who take and take and take until... we all go insane. Any parent who pretends otherwise is just dishonest. That's called choice supportive bias. I am honest. Callum really grinds my gears, and he owes me everything. Everything. It'd serve the little fuck right if I just abandoned him.
God damn. Okay. Objectively speaking, everything she said is actually true. I can't deny that. Like, everything. But here's the thing, though, is that most people, like, they don't give a shit. I mean, okay, if you have a kid, like, then you're already aware of that, but you did it anyway because that's what you want. So people want kids. Like, they see past all those things. I mean, she's not wrong, but okay, I gotta say, though, this chick right here that I'm looking down at should not be a parent, okay? Is she honest? Yes,
I always wanted
she
to write
is.
this one. Never got around to do it before.
Yes, she is honest, and she is right. But the fact that she can't look past that, or potentially see the child bond as a positive, says that she shouldn't have children. God damn. So yeah, like no wonder why she had electroshock therapy. She's fucked up in the head. And, at the very least, sociopath. I gotta imagine though, but if she's that honest, then she's probably honest about anything and everything. But like, if she doesn't honestly give a fuck about Callum that much, then how is his upbringing? I mean, he's gotta know that his mom doesn't really give a fuck. I'm just saying, it'd be fucked up to be a kid and knowing one of your parents is dead and the other one doesn't give a fuck.
We need to talk about Callum.
What do you mean? What have you done to him?
That's insulting. You and your boy are everything that this place doesn't want. The antithesis of what we stand for.
Where is Callum?
Yeah.
The poor child. He tried so hard to do what he was taught. He even left you a trail of breadcrumbs. But the park is just so hungry.
Tell me where my son is.
The witch has him now. Has both of you. No happy ending here, I'm afraid.
Just leave me alone.
Fool. You always were.
Fun fact, I've only ever been on a roller coaster once. I didn't like it. And it was one like this that didn't have any of those loop-de-loops. I've never been on a roller coaster with loop-de-loops, and I never intend to go on one. Because fuck roller coasters with loop-de-loops. The insane asylum. That was the most interesting one so far. And if my presumption is correct, it's also the last one.